What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back here today with another episode of Why Your Favorite Pokemon is Terrible. I'm your host, Blunder, and today we're going to be talking about Zamazenta Crowned and why this Pokemon is absolutely garbage and why I believe that it's time for Smogon to drop this thing from Ubers down to OU for a test, because this mon is just not good. It's not good. I don't see this thing in Ubers at all. In fact, it's so unused in Ubers that its analysis on site is called Ubers Howl. I know damn well nobody's using Howl in any competitive battle, so this thing gets no usage whatsoever. But besides that, I just was going through this mon and I was like, at first glance, you look at the stats, you look at the move, you look at the typing, even the ability giving you +1 defense as you come in, and it's like, wow, this thing is pretty cool. How could this thing ever be OU? But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to explain it to you in this 10-minute video. Why Zamazenta Crowned is not good, why it needs to come back to OU, and I'm going to be exposing everything. And I guarantee you're going to agree with me by the end of this video, or you know what, you'll get your money back, whatever that means. So let's hop right into it. Before we do that, I got to say this, people. Go check out the Brave browser. Thank you so much for the support you guys have been giving me with this campaign. And it's done in 14 days. Yes, that's right. Then I'll have to find a new sponsor to plug, but it's been a great ride. Then the Brave sponsorship program thing is done. So you got 14 days to go download this with my referral link, brave.com/BLU441. Go check that out. Use it for 30 days. You get paid. I get paid. Truly appreciate you guys doing that. It's been a really fun few months. Shouts to Brave. And like I said, hey, it's here for 2 more weeks. So I'm going to be plugging it hard for the next 2 weeks. But go check that out. And yeah. But let's go look into this. So like I said, you guys might be looking at this at first glance and be like, there's no way you could think this is an OU Pokemon. Like, look at its crazy stats. And yeah, it's true. The defenses are very, very nice. The speed is great. And the attack is mediocre. The attack is mediocre. Now, the reason I said the attack is mediocre is because this thing cannot rock an item. Rusted Shield, what's it called? Rusted Shield turns you into this, and that's it, right? That's it. It just turns you into this. The ability gives you +1 defense as you come in. So, as its brother, Zacian, the boss, gets +1 attack. This guy gets +1 defense. So, yeah. It gets all this defense. It has all this HP. But we need to think, what exactly is that for? We got to look at the move pool real quick, right? And we're going to go through the move pool real quick before I compare this thing to the rest of OU. And then you realize, wow, this shit is ass. Where's Rillaboom? Anyway, so look at this. Move-wise, we have agility. This, the steel move that doubles power of Dynamax. However, Dynamax is banned in OU, so this move isn't even that good, and it has 8 PP. We have close combat, which would be the main stab move. Crunch to hit ghost types, I guess, like Dragapult. You got okay, then you got nothing. You got Ice Fang, to hit the Landorus, that would otherwise wall you. You have Play Rough, which isn't too necessary. Psychic Fangs to hit Toxapex, and Wild Charge to hit what? Corviknight. Basically, this thing has no good moves. You need to understand that all of these potential coverage moves are garbage. And the reason being is that there's no Life Orb, there's no Expert Belt, there's no Choice Band to help them get those 2-hit KOs. This 130 base attack Psychic Fangs, that's not killing Toxapex in 2 hits. Bro, this thing has the same attack as something like Garchomp. It has less attack than Dragonite, T-Tar, Salamence. You gotta understand, this thing is so weak. And I know you looked in the move pool and you didn't see any Swords Dance, right? You didn't see any Bulk Up, right? No. And then you look at useless moves and, ooh, they are useless. They are useless. So we're looking at this thing now, and all it really has to play around with is the Behemoth Bash. Oh, the other one's name is Blade, right? Close combat, Ice Fang, Psychic Fangs, right? You got to run these 2 for stab moves. I put Ice Fang in there just to hit Landorus and like what? Zapdos? I bet you do 30% of defensive Zapdos. This is so shameful just looking at this Pokemon. Now this guy on the other hand, it's other form. This thing is kind of clean because it doesn't need the boosted defenses. Its defenses are already great at 115, and it still gets the +1. Its speed is even faster, which is quite nice. It's still slower than stuff like Dragapult, but the defenses are still good. And the other thing is that you can run a Choice Band with the same set. So you can run your close combat. You don't need the steel coverage at this point because you could just run Iron Head if you want to hit fairies. See, now this thing is clean. See, this could actually be a threat. But this, brother, this has no threat. It just looks cool. It just looks cool. And now, people, I showed you how its moves and its attack really isn't as good as we thought. But now we're going to compare it to the rest of OU, and you're going to see why this thing is not a big threat. to the majority of teams, and why Smogon needs to drop it back into OU, and I'm being serious. Now, to its credit, it does defeat Kieran Black quite well. I will say that. Kieran Black being one of the top titans of OU, it does get shut down pretty hard by Zamazenta Crown, because that thing does get the +1 defense. And if this thing isn't Earth Power, it really can't hurt that thing. Plus, it just gets outsped. And so Zamazenta does kind of beat this thing quite well. Zygarde, hell no. Doesn't matter if you have an Ice Fang or not. It's bouncing off. You're getting glared, coiled, GG. That thing is not beating it. Heatran, close combat does one-hit KO Heatran most of the time. So that is there. Landers T. Ice Fang's not doing anything defensive. I just put that there as a tech. Scarf also lives Ice Fang. So either way, Earthquake is hitting your shit up, and there's no recovery on that mon. Remember, there's no leftovers, there's no nothing. Magearna very easily sets up on the guy. Flare Cannon also does a ton. Even if it has the 145 Spadef that we talked about, it doesn't really matter. Magearnas these days all run Iron Defense, Draining Kiss anyway, which will set up with this thing on with absolute ease. Because again, all it's hitting it with is a 130 attack close combat. That's it. There's no Life Orb, there's no Swords there's no nothing. We've seen Magearna live the most strong attacks ever. We've seen Magearna live 2 Chomp Earthquakes in a row. Easy money. So you really think this weak close combat is going to be doing anything to Magearna? No. Melmetal, I mean, yeah, it can tank a hit from Melmetal, but close combat's not doing anything. Earthquake will blow it up. Pheromosa punching you in the face, you're dead. Urshifu punching you in the face, you're dead. That +1 defense, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All you need is a little chip for that +1 defense not to make a difference. Plus, again, there's no leftovers. There's no nothing. You're not sticking around. Blaziken destroying you. Just clicking protect and then killing you. Done. It'll just end up running Fire Blast if Zamazenta becomes that big of a threat. Cinderace whooping this thing's ass. It can't one-hit KO Cinderace. So it's just going to close combat, take defense drops, and then, you know, that doesn't make any sense. So Cinderace whooping this thing's ass. Clefable, it can't even one-hit KO Clefable, which is pretty shameful. So that being said, it has to, you know, not get Thunder Waved. Corviknight walling you to hell and back. Corviknight using you to defog. Corviknight using you to bulk up. Corviknight using you to roost. It'll be very shameful when Corviknight comes in. Guys, you've seen Corviknight wall all types of Pokemon. This 130 base attack close Bro, who is this fooling? Who is this fooling? Bro, you are like Blaziken. You are crap, bro. This is actually this would be better than Blaziken though. I'll tell you that much. But back to this ranks. Let's see. Dragapult just outspeeding, hitting this thing with a Wisp or 2-hit KOing with like Fire Blast, and then it's not dying to any move. No Crunch, no Behemoth Bash, all that shit bouncing off. Ferrothorn doesn't die to close combat, but I mean it can't really offensively threaten. It doesn't wall it, I guess, so that's true. Latios, yeah, Latios just gonna hit it with Psychic or Mystical Fire. Can't get one hit KO'd. Spec will just 2-hit KO that thing. However, you know what's hilarious? This thing is just slower than Spec. 128 is a very hilarious troll speed tier. Just below 130 and everything else. So this thing would just get 2-hit KO by Spec Shadow Ball. It doesn't matter. And remember, you can't run. This is the only calc I cared about running. I wanted to see how much close combat did versus how much Lava Plume did. And you got to give it 0 HP. So Lava Plume is like a 2-hit KO. It does soak that up better than I thought. That 145 defense is nothing to fuck with. However, this, not OHKOing all the time, I can't get behind that shit. I just can't get behind that. But let's get back to it. We got Tapu Fini here. Tapu Fini can tank the hit, but with just Nature's Madness and get rid of that thing. Torn would make that thing its bitch for real. It would just tank the hit. Hurricane back. Easy money. Pex. Duh Pex. Very nicely read, Smogon. Toxpex walls it for days. It doesn't matter. Psychic Fangs has to like crit. That's the only way. Tyranitar losing. Zapdos walls you to hell and back forever. Zapdos and Moltres, who is on everybody's team nowadays. So those two wall it forever. You can wild charge to get past Moltres, but I wonder how much it would do. I feel like it would to a KO, but you just burn yourself. But let's see. Got 208 HP. And then defense, I usually jack up because I don't think you need speed. I only run 230 speed, I think. Enough to hit 230 is what I ran. So let's see how much defense that leaves you with. And then I ran max HP, and that leaves you with 200 defense. So Wild Charge is not even 2-hit KOing Moltres. It has no chance to 2-hit KO Moltres. So you're screwed. No way, my boy, Zapdos is dying to any type of Ice Fang. That's probably a 3-hit KO at best, maybe. Very poor. Excadrill is checked, but in Sand, it's, you know, it's able to 2-hit KO it, so it can't switch in or nothing. Garchomp, again, Garchomp is another Pokemon that is like, quote-unquote, checked if it's at like 40%. Otherwise, you hitting it with a weak ass CC, you taking a defense drop, and then Earthquake is blowing your shit up because you have. I mean, you have the defense, the +1 defense from the ability, but it doesn't matter if it can't 1v1 any of those defensive mons either. You can't switch into these attacks because there's no recovery, there's no leftovers, there's no nothing. Hawlucha eating your attack up, killing you. Cart not living your CC, so that's something. Latias, yeah, Latias would always wall you forever. Mandibuzz walling you till the end of time. Regieleki Volt switching on you one time, then you add like half your health. Goodbye. That's it. Goodbye. Rillaboom. I mean, Rillaboom just tanks your hit and superpowers. I mean, it's not going to do a lot though because it has +1 defense. I got to give Zamazenta credit where it's due, but it can't even threaten this. Slowbro, I don't got to explain to you why it can't do anything to Slowbro. Tangrowth, same thing. They're just going to wall. There's no Swords Dance. There's no nothing. These two would wall you forever. Tangrowth would just click. Sleep Powder, Leech, it doesn't matter. Coco whooping this thing's ass. 2 T-Bolts done. And plus what? All it can go for is its signature move, which again only has 8 PP. Think about how many things it needs to rely on its signature move for if it can't hit the CC. Victini walls the entire set. Crunch doing 50-60% dog shit. Tapu Lele, well, Scarf is better, but I mean Scarf would be able to 2 KO maybe, but it gets killed by the signature moves. So I got to give the credit there. Aegislash, it's walling it forever, bro. It's got to have Crunch, and we already showed why I can't fit Crunch on the set. Blissey, of course, Blissey's losing to a fighting type. Buzzwole sets up on you +80. Celesteela, Leech seeding you to getting +80 Spadef, easy money. Crest using you to set up trick rooms every single day of the week. Ditto turning into you, getting +2 defense on you, bro. Now look at you, man. Now you're both stuck using this garbage Pokemon, but he has an extra defense boost on you. Clown shit. Dracozolt can't die to any attack. Will just mess you up with 2 Bolt Beaks. But again, I can't give all physical attackers the benefit versus Zamazenta. It does take on a lot of those guys 1v1. You have Hydreigon there. Well, if it's Scarf, it can check, but otherwise it will be going down to close combat. Komodo whooping that thing's ass. Magnezone, it's getting his ass whooped. Unless he Iron Defensed first on the switching or something. Rotom Heat is totally cooking this thing. Haha, no pun intended. But it is totally cooking this thing because it has to close combat. Then it gets the defense drop. Close combat also probably doesn't even do half to a Fizz Def Rotom Heat. There's actually no way it does half to a Fizz Def Rotom Heat. Let's see this. 61 to max HP. Yup, I already know. Oh, 44 to 52. Not bad. Honestly, not bad. But Overheat's doing 66 to 78. And then if you drop your defense, you just die. So, unfortunately, Rotom can switch into any move plus close combat and Pain Split it off. And this thing always needs to keep its moves intact because it only has 8 PP on both, and that shit doesn't OHKO anything. So the odds of you running out of the PP are a lot higher than they are of you getting kills in time. Slowking walls forever. Wild Charge might be able to 2 KO, but doesn't matter. Swampert walls you forever. Zapdos, again, if you run the Wild Charge, you can damage it, but like not really, and it's just gonna kill you or set up on you. Zarude, I bet bulk up Zarude beats this if it bulks up like twice on the. If it gets 2 bulk ups up, it probably wins. But that's pretty hard to get off because you'd probably just go into Zamazenta every time anyway. We got Alakazam here. Alakazam will lose because it's not only slower, but yeah, it's just gonna die. And then Chansey loses, Cardon loses. It beats most of these guys, I'd say. Dragonite. I mean, Dragonite depends, right? If you have Ice Fang, you beat it. Otherwise, you get set up on. DD Roost will set up on that shit and sweep it. You need my tech Ice Fang, which is dog shit. Ice Fang is not good. It only hits Landorus and I guess DD Roost Dragonite. Otherwise, you're hitting this thing with what? 8 of these? 8 of the signature move, and that thing is just gonna bounce off and roost it off. Done. Hippo walls you forever. Moltres walls you forever. Pelipper, if you don't have Wild Charge, walls you forever. Scizor will wall you forever if it has any defense to it. Let me see how much close combat does to Scizor. I'm actually quite curious. It does 56 to 67. Alright, so that's not bad. I really can't complain about that. But Scizor could always U-turn out. Shuckle is Shuckle. Bulu gets checked. Urshifu water type checks it pretty easily too. Volcarona sets up on you and kills you. Barraskewda in the range is flip turning on you. Gastro walls you. Kingdra blowing you away with Surf. Kyurem, you would just start running Earth Power. Nidoking, you gotta run the Psychic Fangs, otherwise you die into Earth Power. Quag walls you. Reuniclus sets up on you. Torkoal whoops its ass. Uxie sets up on you, and Venusaur sets up on you and kills you with the Weather Ball. Wow, look how the bottom of the thing, they all murked him. They all murked Zamazenta at the bottom. I'm not making this up. You guys are probably being like, oh, he's over exaggerating. No, I'm not. Zamazenta, they need to test this thing. But that's basically it. I want to know what you guys think. I'm not trolling with this vid. I truly do think that Zamazenta Crown should be tested in OU. I don't think I've ever seen it in Ubers before because it's garbage. So let me know what you guys think below in the comments. Let me know if you want to see me do another type of video, or maybe a video on what Pokemon should be OU. Something like that. I had a blast making this, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.